Hello and welcome back to our Talking Points, where we gather the brightest minds in tax, accounting, trust, and property, all for you to learn and grow. Now, the best part is that besides these short interviews, we also offer free weekly training that you can watch to learn how and what we do. And what we do is quite simple. We help ordinary people become successful property investors through proven investment methods and techniques, which will allow you to protect your assets and create wealth for your future generations. Now, if you want to find out a little bit more about that, then stay tuned to the end of this video, and I'll show you how you can register for the training and take advantage of some of our incredible offers. But for now, we're going to be talking on the point of fair value adjustments and impaired losses. Now, if these seem like completely foreign concepts to you, then don't worry, I think you're in the right place. We've got the right people to help you understand what this means and what this means for your investments. And on that note, our guest today is one of Destinata accounting specialist, Morne Janssen. So Morne, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Morne, now can you just start off by telling us what is fair value adjustments and impaired losses?
So fair value adjustments and impairment losses is, let's say for instance, you have assets and these assets suddenly drop in value or gain in value depending on what happens around the asset. You would then normally bring in a fair value adjustment just so that the books on the trust or the company for the investment or asset looks, how can I state it, as the current value of the asset. Yes.
And then when should somebody be doing these fair value adjustments?
Well, fair value adjustments should usually be done when you notice a substantial increase or decrease in the value of the asset over a short period of time. This could happen due to any natural disasters or what happened in Durban a while ago with the strikes and all of those types of things. All of that has an impact.
So Morne, tell us a little bit, why is it important to do these adjustments? Because I think everybody has the idea that they've got an investment, the investment grows, and that is it. But obviously this is something, like you said, it needs to be done on an ongoing basis.
Yes. So fair value adjustments are quite important. Your books should always be up to date on the value of the asset or investment. Assets forms a big part of equity. And if these are not recorded properly with the correct values, it can actually have an impact on the trust or company's solvency, which impacts the possibility for loans.
And then just very quickly, could you explain the difference between fair value adjustments and the impaired losses?
So it's an area that frequently comes up. People think that there's a difference between fair value and impairment. I think it's a lot because you would hear people speaking about fair value and impairment losses. Actually, there's no difference at all. Impairment losses is just a fair value just a negative fair value. Basically, if the fair value adjustment is negative, you would call it an impairment loss. That's basically all it is.
And then let's just look at something like capital gains tax. So what would the impact then of the capital gains tax be with regards to the fair value adjustment?
Okay, so capital gain or loss being realized on the sale of an asset will not be altered due to fair value adjustments. When the sale of an asset takes place, the cost price of the asset will still be used as when calculating the capital gain or loss and that is being realized, because the fair value adjustment is being done on the valuation account, not on the cost of the asset.
And then the final question I've got, just in terms of the processes or the administration of these adjustments and losses, what would the accounting process be when you record a fair value adjustment?
So on our side, the way it would look, like I just said, the change would be made on the valuation account. Let's say the fair value increases. We would debit the valuation account because the asset should be in a debit value on the statements, and we would credit the income statements. And should the value drop due to an impairment loss, we would just reverse that so that we would credit the valuation account and debit your income statement.
Fantastic. Well, now, obviously, there's so much more we want to talk about, but I mean, obviously, we're quite limited in time. So thank you for the time you have shared and the knowledge and information that you brought forward to today. And as always, like I've mentioned before, this is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the Wealth Mastery System and what we do. So if you want to find out more, then register for our free training taking place this weekend. You can just check in the description below. There will be a link over there. It's available in both English and Afrikaans. The training is a little bit over 2 hours, and even that is just a condensed version of what we do. So once you've registered, you'll receive all the information about the streaming, how to log in, where to log in, and what times. Like I've mentioned many times before, it's a wealth of information, so be ready to learn the tips and the tricks of the royals and the rich. So they've been using it for centuries, so why can't you? But that's it for today. Until next week, thank you so much. And Morne, once again, thank you so much for your time.
Once again, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Cool. Bye-bye, everybody. We'll see you next time.